Last night I was at a dinner party with Americans and some people I know from Romania. And we were grappling with, why don't people prefer democracy to communism? In rural Romania, the folks there looked upon the old era with Stalin fondly when everyone had a job. Might not have been the great job that you wanted, but there was work. And now times have changed. Their kids are going out of the country. They're winding up in the EU. They've got drought in rural Romania. And realistically, very few people have learned their history. They're young, don't know the true meaning of communism. They don't know about the starvation in Romania in the 30s by Stalin. And I think that's exactly what's happening here. When we talk about democracy, people don't understand what we mean. They do understand when you say the price of eggs are going up. You're going to have inflation. You're not going to have farm workers to pick your crops. You keep deporting immigrants. Who's going to be there in senior care homes? Who's going to do construction? Who's going to be in healthcare, hospitality, restaurants? Those folks weren't taking jobs away from anyone else. And certainly, when ICE goes into a schoolroom and picks up a 10-year-old kid, we really think that 10-year-old kid is going to commit an insurrection? You think he's a danger to society? I don't think so. There's only one reason to traumatize children, and that's to get to their parents. So we've become a nation of boogeymen, actually. We are brutal to people, and just now, not only were we brutal to the immigrant population, the Hispanic population, the basically not the ultra-white population, but we've even seen Trump go after his own. John Bolton's place was raided today in the middle of the night by the FBI. Was he home? I don't know. But John started to criticize Donald Trump. That's a no-no in Trump world, and a reason to pick him up and put him in places unknown. So, what are we doing here in America? We're not better off than we were a year ago. That's for sure. Jay Powell did the miraculous. He made sure we had a soft landing and we didn't go into recession. But with Trump's big, beautiful bill that's set to hurt so many of us, we have tariffs that we don't know the true effect of. We've got the deportations we don't know the true effect of. We've got unemployment in the federal agencies, 20,500 from Health and Human Services alone. Where are those scientists going to go? Where is their support staff going to go? How is NIH, the FDA, the CDC going to function with 20% decreases? And NIH was already defunded so many times. But that's the tip of the iceberg. They're not all the agencies that we have in America. We've got so many. We've got EPA. We've got the forest rangers. We've got FEMA, Homeland Security. There's a lot out there. And they're not people in politics. The bureaucrats who run the agencies are there, one administration to another. And the good ones never leave and go into the industries that they regulate. So whatever you've been told by the Republican Party, it's a bill of goods to keep the Republican Party in power. Over the last couple of years, only 8% of the United States public was represented in the elections. 8%. And that's because of the gerrymandering. The gerrymandering, the voter suppression, the closing of polling areas, the rejection of people's ballots, the rejection of their registration, the difficulty to registrate. All that has contributed to less representation in government. And now, with what's happening in Texas, and soon to happen in Missouri, and asked to happen in Ohio and several other states, where you will have only one party that represents the people, the Republican Party. And that's it. And why is that so terrible? Well, I'll tell you why, and I'll tell you why it's being done. Just go back to the Constitution. The first article of the Constitution creates Congress. Congress has almost unlimited powers. It has the power of the purse. It has the power to make legislation. It has the power to eject from its body any representative that is not representing we the people or the laws of the land. It can impeach justices of the Supreme Court or other federal justices who, again, are not representing the Constitution or the laws of our land. Congress is where all the power lies, and Congress is what Trump's focusing on. That's why he wants the entire country gerrymandered, with no minority votes, no Hispanic votes, no African American votes, no Democratic votes, no independent votes. He wants to make sure that this is a rigged election in 2026, and he's starting now. When you look at Article 2, which creates the presidency, you see, the president doesn't have that much power. He really can't be fiddling around with our tariffs. He really shouldn't be coercing our educational systems to conform to his way of thinking, because his way of thinking will bring us back in time. As it is, because of our deportations, international students don't want to come to our higher learnings of education. We're number one in the world because we listen to all diverse points of view. We pursue science and technology. And now under Trump, that's going to be truncated. Truthfully, my point of view, every one of those universities should be banding together. And somehow or other, whether it's through borrowing or whatever, wind up with the money they need to continue their education. It's going to be tough because people are afraid to come to our country. New York City already knows we've lost over 2 million people in tourism. I'm sure it'll be more. So across the country, Trump's policies are a lose-lose for Americans. And the only way to undo what he's done with that big, beautiful bill is to pack the Congress with new people who will overturn every item of Trump's agenda, because none of it, or very little of it, is sanctioned by the Constitution. And that was deliberate, just like they were ambiguous when they created the office of the presidency. They were not so ambiguous when they gave and vested all the power in the Congress. We changed the Congress in 2026. We start doing it this year in 2025. We don't have to be brutalized. We don't have to lose our health care. We don't have to lose our educational systems. We don't have to worry about our supply chains. We stop Trump's agenda once and for all. That's why voting is so important. That's why knowing our history is important. That's why knowing the Constitution is so important. We can do it. I have faith in labor for democracy. I have faith in Rise and Resist. I have faith in William Barber. All of us together will make you educated and able to protest and then strike effectively.